is going on, guys? Espresso Shucko here, and today I am hitting the Battle Spot Doubles Ladder with a Raikou support team with Clefairy, Metagross, Rillaboom, Gigantamax Inteleon, and Galarian Moltres. So the main ideas for this team is I either go with Raikou and Metagross. This Metagross is EV'd so that it can outspeed a couple of things. After Raikou goes for a Bulldoze. The idea here is Metagross has Clear Body, I don't take a speed drop. If my opponent's Pokemon are grounded, they do take a speed drop from taking the Bulldoze. Metagross gets its weakness policy, and it gets to potentially go faster than some problematic threats. For example, I'm currently EV'd to outspeed an Urshifu. Once Urshifu has taken a speed drop, so that's a fun thought. Clefairy also has Icy Wind on it. And then that same idea, if there's something like a Landorus, I get an Icy Wind, Metagross Dynamaxes, goes for a Hailstorm. Landorus is not appreciating that. Some other ideas for this team. I have G-Max Inteleon here with a Razor Claw. The idea here is I Gigantamax, I have Airstream, Darkness, and Inteleon's G-Max Hydro Snipe. Inteleon gets a speed boost for either itself and its partner. It could also soften up some targets by lowering their special defense, which Galarian Moltres therefore takes advantage of, and technically Raikou and Clefairy also get to take advantage of. And Rillaboom overall is just overall great support. It's a Life Orb set. I do have Fake Out and Protect on here, but Knockoff and Grassy Glide hit very hard. So without further ado, let's jump into some battles and see what we can get for some opponents on our campaign to entertain. Okay, let's see what we get for our first opponent. And while we do that, I am going to get a drink of caffeine because I have a bit of a headache and caffeine is one of those things that helps with it. Also, our first opponent has been found. Let's see what we have for an opposing team. So this looks like beat up Cobalion shenanigans with Dragapult and obviously Cobalion. Rillaboom and Incineroar. Intimidates are going to be annoying, but not the end of the world. Metagross has the Clear Body, so I don't have to worry about that. My Raikou is Inner Focus, so they can't fake it out. Yeah, all things considered, Landorus could be a slight problem for my Metagross, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. I think we can maybe go Clefairy and Metagross instead. And then that way I can take advantage of Friend Guard and Icy Wind. I think Metagross is really good here. Although I don't think Inteleon or Galarian Moltres are that bad either. That said, we'll bring Clefairy, we'll bring Raikou, and maybe we'll bring... Actually, I think we'll bring Clefairy and Inteleon. I think we'll bring Metagross in the back. Unless they have Rillaboom as part of their lead, I'm fine with leading Inteleon, because I could go for maybe an Air Slash into Cobalion, maybe. Yeah, I don't think Inteleon's that bad of a lead here. If they lead Rillaboom, I could just sub in Metagross, protect with Clefairy or something. Yeah, I don't think that's terrible. I mean, I could even redirect Grassy Glide with Clefairy and have Inteleon go for an Airstream into Rillaboom, which would not be the end of the world. So, let's see what they got. I'm assuming Cobalion Dragapult, though. Yeah, okay. So, the nice thing here is I can go for a Follow Me, avoid Beat Up. I'm assuming Cobalion maxes, they go for the Beat Up, so I think Follow Me is safe here. I think maybe we Dynamax, go for an Airstream into Cobalion, and then we can go for a Darkness into Dragapult. I think that's an alright play. I might lose Clefairy if Cobalion goes for a Steel Spike, because Max Steel is going to hit very, very hard, but I would rather not take a beat up. or rather have Cobalion take a beat up and then hit me for +4 attack. So let's try this out. I don't use G-Max Inteleon a lot, so learning time with Espresso. They are going to max, which kind of figured they would. So I redirect this, follow me, I get an Airstream, we're in a good spot. Because what I could do is potentially take out Dragapult the follow-up turn. No, they're just going to ally switch. Okay. I'm more than okay with that. Because this Dragapult's going to take massive damage. I'm going to get a speed boost. So I'll outspeed their beat up. Yeah. I think that's fine. Okay, so there is the Steel Spike into my Clefairy. I do not live it, but I kind of figured that was going to happen. It's not the end of the world. Does it suck? Absolutely, but they went for an ally switch. They revealed that they have ally switch. They're also Life Orb, which is great information. And honestly, what I could do now is I could go into the Metagross and maybe even go for another Airstream. That keeps my bases covered. Metagross gets the speed boost, which it would appreciate over the Cobalion. Because here's the thing, I have a lot of pressure on them now because they can't go for their beat up without Dragapult getting outsped by Inteleon. So I think, all things considered, we're free to I think we'll protect with Metagross here, and I think we'll go Darkness into the Dragapult slot. Yeah, I don't think that's a terrible play here. If they go for an ally switch again, that's really stupid for me, but they don't. They just go for the beat up. So Dragapult's gone. Cobalion takes that special defense drop. I have Galarian Moltres in the back. If I can land a Hurricane, awesome. Max Knuckle is a little bit scary, but Metagross is going to take that no problem. And I think, honestly, I can go for the Hydro Snipe into Cobalion here and inflict some massive damage that way. Kind of wish I had Shadow Ball on my Moltres or even Air Slash, but I like Hurricane for the extra damage. Okay, so there's Rotom Wash. Moltres does not care for dealing with that, neither does Metagross. But it's not the end of the world. I think we can go for the Iron Head, maybe, just to get a little bit of chip damage, and I think we go Hydro Snipe into Cobalion here. The Max Guard, I think, is a fair play for them, which means I could have gone for a Darkness into Rotom, but I didn't. My Metagross is faster, which is nice. Maybe I pick up the flinch? No. They go for their Nasty Plot, though, which is very scary, not gonna lie, but I can do some big damage with, all things considered. Cobalion's got the Life Orb, it's got a physical defense boost, so it's a little bit intimidating, but because we know we're faster, I can just try to go for the Iron Head. I'm gonna go for the Snipe Shot into Cobalion, see if we can get rid of it. And then from there, I can go for Rotom. The one thing is I am not Focus Sashed. So that is a little bit intimidating for both my Moltres and my Metagross. But there goes Cobalion. We got the crit. Sniper. This Inteleon is Sniper. So if I get lucky and pick up the flinch, perfect. If I don't, That sucks. Ooh, they have Discharge. There goes my Inteleon, unfortunately, but I can go for the Iron Head and Fiery Wrath. And at that point, it's more of a, can I cheese out enough damage to make this thing flinch and not attack me? And they do have the Landorus, which I do have to be weary of. Okay. Probably should have gone for the Rotom, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, I know my Metagross is faster than Rotom, but do I think I can live whatever Landorus wants to do? We'll go for the Fiery Wrath. Moltres should be the set. Moltres is faster than their Landorus too. That's nice. Unfortunately, I don't get the flinch onto Landorus here, so Metagross is going to go down, which is not great. It's not that great at all, but oh, and they still hit me as well, so that's not good. That said, Moltres is tanky. It lived. I now have my Berserk. Do I win this? Highly unlikely. But I know I'm faster, so let's see what I can do with my Moltres here. If I get rid of Rotom, perfect. If Landorus misses a Rock Slide, perfect. It's not enough to pick up the KO on either of them. Rotom's got its berry. Landorus is going for Fly, okay. And Rotom does not flinch. So, good game to my opponent. Unfortunately, that sucks for me, but it is what it is, all part of the learning curve. Let's see what we can get for another opponent. Okay. Let's see what we get for our next match. G-Max Inteleon, I was not disappointed with that in the first one. I think it did work. I think maybe what I should have did was go for the Rotom. I think I got a little greedy by taking out Cobalion, but yeah, I think getting rid of Rotom would have been best, especially whereas it did have the Discharge. I don't normally see Discharge on Rotom, so props to my opponent. I will give them shout out for that. Props for the Discharge. It was definitely interesting tech. Worked out well for them in the end, so that's something to keep in my back pocket for later on. That said, I also didn't let them get the beat up, so pretty happy about that. That could have been bad. Okay. Will we get our second opponent, or am I timing out? Nope, we got it. Sometimes you just gotta question whether or not you're actually gonna get the match or not. So what does my opponent have? Ooh, they have a Latios. I also have an Urshifu, that's cool. Regieleki. Whimsicott, okay. So they do have speed control through both Regieleki and Whimsicott, which does not look great for the Raikou Metagross strategy. So maybe what I can do instead is, I think maybe I can lead Rillaboom instead. Rillaboom puts a lot of offense. Yeah, I think Rillaboom still puts a lot of pressure on Regieleki. If they lead Finny and Alecki, not great, but at the same time, it's not terrible. I think they might lead Latios, which could be good, because Latios gets Bulldoze as well. Moltres doesn't look too bad here. And I think... I'm worried about the Regieleki lead, but maybe Rillaboom Moltres isn't bad as a lead. Bring Metagross in the back, and possibly even bring Clefairy. Clefairy might be good late game if I get a speed drop into that Urshifu. I mean, even just having Friend Guard on top of whatever Pokemon I choose to Dynamax is very nice. I can, if they lead Regieleki and whatnot, I can go for the Fake Out into Regieleki, Dynamax Moltres, go for an Airstream. Metagross and Whimsicott instead. Okay, so that's a big yikes for Moltres, because if they're packing an Ice Punch, that's not great for me. That said, I think what I could do is I could go for the Fake Out and the Whimsicott, and I think I could just double into it. Yeah, I could, but what do I got in the back? I got my own Metagross and Clefairy. Okay, yeah, I think I'd go Airstream, get rid of this Whimsicott, get some speed into Moltres, and then maybe see what comes out next. If they have Latios, I would really love to get Moltres faster and go for a Max Darkness into Latios, or I can go for the Bulldoze. And plus, I don't think they protect Whimsicott here. The fact that they're maxing their Metagross makes me think they don't. So I think I'm in a relatively decent position. I mean, if they hit me with a Max Hailstorm while I'm Dynamaxed, I probably live it, especially if they don't get their weakness policy off. So we'll get the Fake Out into Whimsicott. Not bad. We denied Tailwind. We're going to get our Airstream. Great. Now, can I get a special attack boost into Moltres off of Berserk? Yeah. That's the question I have. They do go for the Moltres, and that's more than enough to give me my Berserk boost. So, wonderful. Now, a +1 Max Darkness into Metagross, that's the question. They are going to get a little bit of grassy terrain recovery as well, which is not great for me. There's the Regieleki. I think maybe I Grassy Glide into that, and I go for a Max Guard. But the idea being, if they go for Metagross, great. Or not Metagross, sorry, Moltres, great. If I preserve myself there, they try to get speed. Rillaboom's gonna pretty much bring Regieleki right down to its sash. No, it's just gonna straight up KO. So Whimsicott must have had the sash. So they did read into my Protect with Moltres, that's fine. Rillaboom picked up a KO, it denied Whimsicott. They don't have their speed. What's their last one in addition to Metagross? That's the question here. If it's Latios, wonderful, because I can get a quick KO that way. No, it's Urshifu. Alright. So I know they have... Oh, you know what? Whimsicott might have had something else too. It might not have necessarily have been a Focus Sash. But anyways, I think from here I can go Follow Me, and it's probably obvious that the Urshifu goes for a Detect, but we'll get the Airstream. Pick up some extra speed into Moltres. I don't think Sucker Punch KOs, and this way I don't think Moltres goes down. No Protect or Detect off of Urshifu, so that's just going to be massive damage. And from there, I think I can just Fiery Wrath their Metagross. Urshifu is going straight down, so maybe that was banned? They're going to go for another Hailstorm. That's fine. Clefairy should be able to take that. Oh yeah, Clefairy takes that no problem at all. So, +2 speed. I have Heal Pulse on Clefairy. I can maybe heal up my own Moltres. All things considered, I think that's pretty decent. So, I think we go Heal Pulse into my Moltres, and I think we go Fiery Wrath here. We're at +1. Metagross is not known for having great special defense, and it's got no max Quake boosts. So we're just going to pick up the KO. Not bad. I'm pretty happy with that, all things considered. We denied speed control. Good game to my opponent. Okay, let's see what we can get for our next opponent. And let's see if we can get into the Master Ball, because I should only need one more win to be able to hit that milestone. Would be nice to get back into that, get a little extra battle points, and, you know, actually hit the tier where it's not yellow and having a progress bar. But anyways, yeah, let's see what we can do. It would be nice if I can hit it, but if I don't, I don't. Kind of taking this month a little bit less serious. Okay, an opposing opponent has been found. Ooh, they have Thundurus, Mamoswine, Amoonguss, Incineroar. I like the Suicune, and Celesteela. So I'm assuming Snarl and Icy Wind off Suicune. Incineroar does Incineroar things. The nice thing about my Raikou is I do have Eerie Impulse on it. So I could potentially go Raikou here. Mamoswine would be very bad to lead into, but... Would Mamoswine be that terrible to lead into? I don't have any means of setting electric terrain, which is not great, because Amoonguss can put things to sleep. I think Raikou and Metagross. I think... I don't think Clefairy is necessarily bad, but that Celesteela is a problem. If they lead Celesteela, I can Eerie Impulse it too. That's the other thing. I think we go Moltres here. And I think we bring Rillaboom in the back for Mamoswine. I think in base form, Mamoswine does not appreciate Grassy Glide, especially whereas on Life Orb. If it's Dynamax, then yeah, it can take a Grassy Glide, but I don't think it likes the amount of damage Grassy Glide does to it. So, let's see. I'm assuming Thundurus lead, maybe? But I don't have any Intimidators. No, Amoonguss and Suicune. Okay. Interesting. So, what I could do, I can go for a Bulldoze here. My Raikou should outspeed the Suicune. And I think I can just... Ice Punch the Amoonguss, to be honest. No, they're going to protect. Okay, you know what? That's fair. I'm going to get a speed drop into the Suicune. I'm going to get my policy off on Metagross. A Scald could be really bad into my Metagross. What's Suicune want to do? That's the other question. What does Suicune? It is going to be stalled. Please don't burn me. They do not. Good. Okay, so... I think we Thunderbolt into a Moongus. I think we Dynamax. No, I think we Ice Punch. I don't think we push the Dynamax button yet. I think they Rage Powder, and if they pick up the Scald Burn, that's not good. So this way I'll keep my bases covered. If they're Sash the Moongus, I should be able to pick up a KO with this. Yeah. Moongus is gone. Suicune is slower than Metagross. I'm gonna go for another Scald. It's disgusting. But I do not get the burn. There's the Thunderous, okay. So, I think maybe what I can do is I can maybe Eerie Impulse this Suicune. And Rillaboom and Moltres both do not. Oh, I know. Rillaboom and Moltres both do not appreciate Thunderous here, though. I think we'll go for the Max Guard into Metagross here. Then that way, if Thunderous goes for a Max Darkness into Metagross, I live. They are going to outspeed my Metagross, so the question is can I live this? I don't think so, but if I could stall it 2 turns of their max, perfect. You don't need coffee. Ooh, coffee is for me, not you. So, what's the verdict here? Do they go for Raikou or do they go for Metagross? I would assume they go for Metagross because a Max Hailstorm off +2 Metagross would be very bad. But I'm going to get my Max Guard. I'm going to get my Eerie Impulse into the Suicune. They went for Max Lightning into my Metagross. Okay. And a Snarl. So Raikou takes a little bit of damage, that's fine. I think maybe what I can do here is bring out Rillaboom and maybe attempt the Ice Punch into Thunderous. It's greedy, for sure, but I might be able to do it. And plus, I would love to get a Thunderbolt into that Suicune. Suicune could probably be a problem, but I have Rillaboom to put some pressure on that. Ooh, Helping Hand. That's not good. Yeah, there goes Metagross. But that does get rid of the Grassy Terrain too, so I can use that to power up Raikou's Thunderbolt to hit Suicune. And what I think I can do is I think I can protect Rillaboom this turn. No, I think I should just straight switch Rillaboom out. The fact that I lost Metagross is bad, but not terrible. Because what I can do now is I can go for the Thunderbolt into Suicune, take advantage of the Electric Terrain they just gave me, and do some damage that way. Problem is I'm bulk invested on this Raikou and I'm speed invested, so I don't really have a lot of damage output. They're also a Wakan Berry, okay. So that does nothing. Oof. Airstream into my Moltres is not good. That is really not good. Now, do I think they Snarl with Suicune? Because Snarl will probably KO my Moltres. Yeah, they do. It did not. That's interesting. Okay, so I think I gotta leave Thunderous up to Rillaboom, unfortunately. think we go Fiery Wrath, and I think we go Thunderbolt into Suicune. I'm pretty sure Moltres goes down here. Yeah, the Wild Charge into Moltres is not good. That said, how much damage do I think this Thunderbolt does to Suicune? So what I could do is I could go for a Fake Out into Thundurus, and I think I can go one more Thunderbolt into Suicune. Should be good to get rid of that. If I can... Okay, here's the question. Do I think Grassy Glide is enough to KO Thundurus from this range? Oh, it's definitely not. Now I'm seeing that. No. We definitely need to go for a Fake Out into that. And I think the other thing we can do is go for another Thunderbolt into Suicune. If we get the paralysis, we get the paralysis. That's even better, but highly unlikely. They're going to protect their Thundurus here. So, is this enough to do it, to get rid of Suicune? Look at that. Suicune's gone. Depending on what they have for their last one, if it's Celesteela, awesome, because I can Eerie Impulse it. Thundurus does have a... Ooh, it is. Nice. Okay. So, Thundurus does have a speed boost that I have to be weary of. It can fly. But maybe what I can do is I can go Knock Off into that, and I think I can go Eerie Impulse into Celesteela. The worst thing that could have happened for me this match was losing Metagross. Instead of going for the Ice Punch, I should have maxed and gone for a Ice Punch into Amoonguss, and then maybe I would have taken less damage off of Suicune. There's the superpower, so this knockoff is going to hurt a lot, which is nice. And the Eerie Impulse is going to help deal with Celesteela. I'm going to have to knock off this thing if I want any chance of winning. But we get rid of Thundurus. The fact they gave themselves a defense drop really helped. So, what does Celesteela got? Meteor Beam. Okay. So, knockoff's going to do some reduced damage into this thing. That sucks. But at least they're at -1 special attack. Look at that. Raikou lived. I don't really have anything to say for that. That's awesome. Go for a Fake Out, or not Fake Out, Knock Off. Go for Knock Off into you, and we'll go Thunderbolt into you. Get a little bit of extra damage, because I am going to need it. Knockoff's doing some good damage. You're going to pick up the Flash Cannon KO onto Raikou. That unfortunately does mean Raikou is down, but with the amount of damage that Celesteela has taken, and the fact that it's now back to neutral, I think Rillaboom's in a very good position. Is this pretty? By no means. But it's a good scenario to be in, all things considered. So, let's see. We get our knockoff, that's enough to KO. You don't normally see a Rillaboom win a matchup against the Celesteela, but the fact that we got that Eerie Impulse off Raikou was wonderful. So, all things considered, I'm happy with that matchup. Good game to my opponent, and shout out to them for the close match. They really had me in a bind because of the Metagross KO, so I think that could have been a definite either, like, it could have gone either way. And they did a significant amount of damage to my Raikou with the superpower, but at the end of the day, I don't think the crit necessarily mattered. Knockoff gains bonus damage for removing an item, and it also was going into a -1 defense thunders. So, all things considered, very good match. I'm pretty happy with that. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing Raikou in that third match. There wasn't really a particular theme with this team. It was more or less, let's see what we can do with it. It worked out pretty good. Ideally, I would have liked to have had Raikou and Metagross maybe do a little bit more, but all things considered, it worked out in the end. We got to try out G-Max Inteleon. I think I'm going to maybe build a team around that. All things considered, I had some fun with this. You tend to see a lot of Galarian Moltres, you tend to see a lot of Metagross, but I wanted to try out Raikou. Raikou came in really clutch in that third match that we did end up bringing it to. The Eerie Impulse into Celesteela made it very satisfying to watch that Meteor Beam not pick up the KO. We got to get an extra Thunderbolt into it, and then Rillaboom finished it off. Second match, that one was... that was definitely a Galarian Moltres highlight. We got to do a massive amount of damage with Galarian Moltres having access to Airstream. We got to deny my opponent's speed control. It worked out really good. And also, in the match that we did go up against Cobalion and Dragapult, unfortunately, we did lose that match, but it wasn't terrible at the end. Definite mistake on my end was I should have gone for the Rotom with Inteleon before going for Cobalion, but I didn't. But at the end of the day, it's all a learning curve. Mistakes happen. And overall, I'm pretty happy with how I played today. I think, despite going 2-1, all three matches were pretty solid. We got to see Discharge Rotom, which you don't normally see every day, and the nice synergy between Rotom and Landorus on my opponent in that first match. That was pretty nice. So, not sure what team I'm going to do. Maybe I might just do something generic like this one, or I might just build around certain things. I do want to try to get that second Slowpoke team out. I just haven't figured out what I want to do. I'm thinking it's going to be Slowpoke and Garbodor, maybe? That might be cool. Might be Slowpoke, Garbodor, Trick Room. G-Max Inteleon is interesting. I want to try that a little bit more. At one point, I am going to eventually touch Articuno, both Galarian and regular. Gengar is on the board. I wouldn't mind trying Gengar. What else? I do have a shiny G-Max Dreadnought that I would like to try. I'm thinking that's going to be a Swift Swim Pokemon though, so we'll see. There's a lot of things coming. I just don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I have no shortage of ideas. It's just what do I want to do with them? So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to this rambly outro. And I will see you guys next time on my campaign to entertain. Bye-bye.